Okay, that's good. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. We're going to be looking at the conversation with Hutch, as well as Hutch was just live. I don't know how many people were watching Hutch, probably quite a few of you, as I see in chat. But there was a discussion he had with somebody, probably like an hour and a half ago, that I thought was a bit interesting. I clipped it, and we're going to check it out. But we're also going to look at a few other things, you know, as always. So, yes, it is time to get quazy. So true, Alex. But we do have we have some big news real quick. We do have some big news. Check it out. I got a soundboard working. It should be working right now. Let's see. It works.
Yay, I got a subscriber!
I accidentally clicked another one.
I love pizza, and I love people.
Yay, I got a subscriber!
See, if I press them real soft, it's kind of quiet.
Yay, I got a subscriber!
Real like bonk. There's some good ones in here.
Why do people keep saying Superman, Hasan, superhero, W?
I like having that one on the ready.
Why do people keep saying Superman, Hasan, superhero, W?
What else was in here? I'm trying to think.
Mom, I want a vape.
It's a good one. We got Rich Lux. Shout out Alex.
Based? We're just having some testicle difficulties.
It's all great stuff. I'm gonna need to tweak the mic settings a little bit, probably. Go crazy on the soundboard. Just start.
You gay?
Wet ass P-word.
I had a few other little drops, because there's this one, and then I was looking at YouTube's one, and there was this one. It's a little long, but I did think it was kind of funny, so I wanted to add that. And then this one too. But you know, we also have the death bell toll. Oh, I do need to add I can't stand Hasan. That's a good one.
Why do people keep saying Superman, Hasan, superhero, W?
But let's get right into it. We have Hasan's cyber harassment is the first thing we're going to look at. We have a few videos to look at. There were a few Reddit posts. I guess I have one Reddit post that was kind of the main one that I wanted to look at just because it's items being stupid as always. But, oh, why is this so? I guess that's good. This person's H3 Alfredo. So, Alfredo posted this, but iFlop calls dad an asshole. Imagine calling dad, one of the nicest guys on the internet, an asshole. And here's what he had to say. And he said this talking to Millhouse. This is literally Bart and Milhouse having a conversation.
I'm always one to like, people I look up to. I always want to defend you guys. Like even the stuff with like Dad right now. Like someone's trying to give you like, dude, Dad has been trying to farm clout off of this for the last like few weeks.
It's like, you know the episodes where Bart and Milhouse, like when all the Simpsons, like when they grow up. You remember how Bart's like a disheveled divorced dad with like who like barely sees his kids or whatever? That is what iDubbbz is, and then Milhouse is just Milhouse. But sorry, let me restart.
I'm always one to like, people I look up to. I always want to defend you guys. Like even the stuff with like Dad right now. Like someone's trying to give you like, dude, Dad has been trying to farm clout off of this for the last like few weeks, ever since Creator Clash was canceled. Like Dad was nice, and I used to like that in Creator Clash 1 and 2. He had amazing fights in Creator Clashes 1 and 2. I was a fan of Dad when all that stuff was going on. But I also,
this seems like such a stupid point. I loved it when he was part of the boxing, but now that he's doing all this extra shit, yeah, he wanted to be a part of the boxing. That's what he wanted to do. And now it's kind of all gone to shit, so he's having to kind of figure out what's a good, what are good topics to talk about, what are some good avenues to make some content. And it seems like talking about Creator Clash has, garnered him a decent audience right now. And he is actually talking with, did he say the Misfits promotion? He was talking with somebody about trying to get Creator Clash fighters into actual, some kind of new boxing event. So he's just looking to, he's chasing a bag. What are you chasing? Dad unironically owns iDubbbz, and that's sad. Hey. Didn't we already know that iDubbbz had some kind of daddy issues? Wasn't there something there that was like part of the reason that he wanted to change his name to Joma instead of having both of them be Washburns? Wasn't it something like that?
His behavior hasn't been cool. Like he's been literally talking shit about you guys. He's been contributing to the negative attention. So for anyone who's like shocked of like why you don't want to fight Dad, like no, you have no reason to fight Dad. There is no reason for you to step in that ring. You have nothing to prove to these people. And even though you did say you're down to fight another time, it doesn't mean you need to fight Dad. So anyone who's,
yeah, I mean, I've sparred Dad before, and like I'm gonna be honest, like it was not very competitive. It was,
bro, you're sparring. If you're trying to be competitive in sparring, you're a dickhead. And honestly, I think he'd get thrashed by Nathan. Nathan would absolutely thrash him. And the fact they keep just calling him Dad, levels of disrespect, am I right? Like, I know we all do it because it's just kind of like a colloquialism at this point, but this guy, it's like, him. He really just got hit in the head too many times. And it's just, it is what it is.
Like no offense.
Already putting the soundboard to use.
To Dad, he's been killing it in the ring, but like it's not really something like, obviously I try to do fights that are really competitive, that challenge me, and I'm not looking for that. And beyond all of that, I'm trying to find my own peace right now, and it's really hard to fucking...
No, yeah. I'm sorry. After Alex's recent TikTok about Nathan, where he says that he was bullied relentlessly so much that he had to move multiple schools, he was chased out of a pizza parlor with a bat because they called him a freak. The fact that that's the case, and you people are still going to shit on him when you were the people that were closer to him, like, come on. So sad. iDubbbz got beat by a girl in sparring. I think iDubbbz could get battered by like a 5-year-old child, a kid that's just playing around spinning circles. iDubbbz would be like trying to throw jabs at nothing.
Fight physically, fight online, fight all these different battles simultaneously. I do not want to fucking participate in 50 different fights. It's just not, it's exhausting. It sucks. I'll figure it out with time, but one fight at a time, I think, is all I need.
No, I feel you. And I mean, plus, like when Dad fought Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, yeah, that was like a 15-second fight, so we never really got to see what he can do. And the fight against AB got gassed out very quickly. So, I mean, again.
Wait. Wait, so did he? Yeah, he won both of his fights, right? Yo, he beat the shit out of Matt Watson, but like that was only 15 seconds. How are we supposed to know how good he was? And then AB got gassed out. It's like, what? Hey, bro, he battered one of his sons. He'll do it to you too.
Again, you definitely have more endurance than the two of them. You have the better boxing skill, so I actually do imagine that it wouldn't have been that much of a competitive fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a fan of him, and I just don't want to give him my attention in general. Like, I think he's been an asshole. So fuck him.
Oh my god. No, literally, but I thought he wanted to roll around in the pig shit. What happened? He legitimately... It seems to be CTE. You know, we will not know until after he has passed, you know, hopefully not in many, many years. But he because that's when you can learn, because they have to dissect the brain to learn if there was any kind of CTE. But he said he wanted to roll around in the pig shit. Then he kind of, I think maybe it was like hurting his head too much thinking about it. So he's like, okay, I'm going to drop it. We're not going to talk about it that much. And then in this conversation, he's like trying to think of things to say. And so he just kind of gives up halfway and just goes, oh, he's an asshole. Yeah, disrespectful to Nathan's boxing skills. Let's not forget how good Nathan actually looked. He was in there and he was ready to slug it out. Like, there were a lot of people in there trying to be technical. He was in there like... He was getting down. My boy was getting in there. No brain at all. I'm telling you. It's all we need to hear. Is it this one? That is kind of the look in his eyes. There's kind of a deadness there. He's dull. He's been dulled. He's kind of like one eyelid's a little bit droopier. But not even like a normal amount. Like, it literally looks like he might have like a disconnected he might have some kind of disconnect in his brain. I'm telling you. He got rattled too many times. He can't even remember the fights that happened on the same card. And see, again, I'm only speaking down on Ian because they're speaking down on Nathan. What's his name again? Millhouse? I'm trying to remember what Millhouse's actual name is again.
I actually do imagine that it wouldn't have been that much of a competitive fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a fan of him, and I just don't want to give him my attention in general. Like, I think he's been an asshole. So fuck him.
I feel you.
I just love that. An asshole?
An asshole. So fuck him.
Okay. I feel you. iDubbbz, recently you're talking more about what's happening in Palestine. I wanted to see, when I started the stream, I kind of mentioned...
I'm not even talking that much. That's what's crazy, is there's so many fucking losers online that just like, they're like, I mean...
I know how annoying it is. Anytime I say something like that isn't related to anytime I tweet something just like random, like,
fuck. I did learn his name. I think it is Anthony. I think you're right. I think I remembered his last name, but I won't give that out because I don't know if it's... No. Whatever. I think it might be Anthony. It's Tony. There he is. What a guy. I'm a loser, iDubbbz. Put some respect on my name. Bish Anissa owns you, little bro. Ian forgot he started all of this. I mean, it's one of those things, right, where on the internet there is always going to be jabbing. That's kind of just the way the cookie crumbles. And it's really about how you handle yourself in those moments. And obviously, sometimes those conversations can be a little bit too far. And I think that more times than not, the audience will kind of, self-correct, or that audience is too far gone anyways, and it's not really worth the headache of actually speaking on it. So I don't know. I don't I know that it was like, what was it? Because it's such a, at this point it's just so stupid. There's too many angles to it. Because yes, Ian started the whole thing, but wasn't it because? Oh my god, I have too many things going on in my head right now. Because I'm also thinking about this Hutch conversation. This is how I'm feeling right now. Oh wait, this is perfect. Let's see if I can time this right. Perfect. Nathan is my spirit animal. Maybe it's because I just listened to iDubbbz. Maybe I've just lost a few IQ points. That's also a possibility. I can't wait for iDubbbz' next video. What was his last video? Let me pull it up real quick, and then we'll move on.
What?
I genuinely feel slower after listening to iDubbbz, I'm being honest. Are you scared of immigrants? This shows how interested I was.
Market everywhere else. So yeah, you're wrong and you're also stupid. This is what the liberals want in America. Yeah, and they're getting it. They're getting their farmers markets and they're loving their farmers markets. Thank you for making this content and hopefully waking up the European people. Oh yeah, this is something that you're going to see a lot, is people just sort of...
The thing that pisses me off the most about this is why the fuck is it like, what is that? Maybe like an 1, 2, 3, 4, like maybe a sixth. A sixth of this frame is just like empty space. He could have cropped this in. You know what I mean? Just cropped this to like here. And I feel like this would look a lot better. He wanted to get the thigh shot. He needed to make sure his thighs were in it.
When it benefits them,
like, look
they
at the
will
shot. This is
invoke
fucking.
the
This is
continent
so bad.
of Europe. And
I
when
guess he wanted this. He wanted more empty space to be able to put in images, to be able to overlay random not even PNGs, JPEGs that he found. What a guy. We were playing with the stems. You're so right. I got too busy. I'm trying to remember what some of them are too, because I know I changed some of them.
You okay? You okay?
And then I think this one must be
wet ass P word.
Okay, and that makes this one Candace Owens.
And hold my fart like a bong rip.
I'm trying to remember them because I could just pull up the like thing I have it playing on and just play them manually. But I forgot to label. I need to label each of the keys because that'll make it a lot easier. But now it's time for Hasan.
Why do people keep saying Superman, Hasan, superhero, W?
So they're going to talk about Hasan. Legal Mindset's going to talk about Hasan's doxing. And he called this video Hasan's cyber harassment. And then then I want to look at the Hasan Piker has hit a new low, doxing controversy, in which Ethan H3 Podcast Klein speaks to Hutch. But I need to get the fast facts from Legal Mindset. And I have to say, Alex, I know I've shot you down on this quite a few times, but as I listened to it a little bit earlier, this is one sexy intro. So let's get into it.
Hasan Piker is in hot water yet again as he goes on a harassment spree.
Why are you
We're going to talk
yelling?
about today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm, of course, Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a Fast Facts video, which brings you the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. If you like the Fast Facts, make sure to like the video and leave a comment below. So Hasan, once again, is not learning from the past, is not learning from people telling him what to do because Twitch is not punishing him for previous bad behavior.
Hasan's not learning from the past. He's not really using his brain either. I mean, honestly, it just seems so stupid. Oh, I don't think I pulled the clip. There was another clip of Hasan after. We'll watch this, but if he doesn't show it, I'll see if I can find it. Because Hasan doubled down on doxing Dylan Burns or whatever. Is that his name? Dylan Burns? I think that's right. And he basically just said, I don't even know who Dylan Burns is. Yeah, here it is. I did see this on Reddit, but I don't think I added it.
What is this? This guy just got banned. Wait, hold on. What the fuck?
He might show
Someone
this
just
anyways,
said
but
I
hey, I
doxed?
pulled it real quick.
I streamed the address of Dylan Burns. Just said you streamed his addy. Is that true?
Here, look.
Why the fuck would that be true? Do you think I know who the fuck Dylan Burns is?
Why do people keep saying Superman Hasan
Or
superhero W?
what he does, let alone find his address and then stream it? What are these people saying, bro?
Oh. Sweet Hasan.
Dylan Distance, that's my address, buddy.
I'll give him a little smooch.
Are we just fucking... You still haven't denied it? What the fuck? Are people just like now they've decided to just like make new and unique and creative things up?
Does Hasan just have such a big fan base that really people just don't pay attention? Because I would feel like he's treating me like I'm stupid, or do they think like, oh, I'm in on it? I'm one of the I'm not one of the people that he's able to get over on. I know the truth. But Legal Mindset thinks.
Behavior. And once again, we have Hasan engaging in activities which may very well violate California law and certainly violate Twitch's terms of service. So let's get into the videos, which I posted on my account on X, where he goes through the prohibited behavior. So we'll play that right here.
Don't worry, Tiffany. I'm actually going to play that guy Hutch was debating with. I clipped it. Clipping Hutch? Ooh. Hope he doesn't get mad.
And let you guys take a watch.
Yeah. Dylan Burns, Hunter Avalon, Hutch, Destiny's Own.
This is fucking so like after seeing that clip, I don't even know Dylan Burns. How would I get his address? Like, actually, what the fuck? It's so stupid. It's actually so dumb. Like, what the fuck? Like, seeing both of those clips back to back is just so fucking like, come on, man.
Yeah. Dylan Burns, Hunter Avalon, Hutch, Destiny's Own Personal Chef. Like, this is what happened. This is what took place. Okay. And the pack actually did unironically raise a bunch of money off of like people who thought that they were giving money to a political action committee that was going to go around and you know, do door knocking campus operations, which they.
So you see there, and that's the end of the clip, where he is exposing these people, you know, Dylan Burns, Hunter Avalon, etc., all their names, their city, their state, their zip code, right? He's putting out all their personal information here.
It's not even like he pulled up showing that this tweet has these things. He fucking scrolled through them too. I'm just like, I'm at a loss. I'm actually at a loss. I don't even know Dylan Burns. I don't even know who that is. What did he call him before? He called him a something pervert. Not, but it doesn't have to do with anything with actual perversion, right? It was something else. What did he call him? I think. One sec. I need to get this right. Get my facts straight. Called him a war pervert? Is that it? Is that what he said?
On the internet. And the problem with that is when you have 30,000, 20,000, 40,000 people watching live, and then the replays get a bunch, they get replayed everywhere, people react to them. So we're looking at potentially millions of eyeballs on this information. You're putting those people in a position where anybody who doesn't like them, right, in this civil war that's going on what might be called the online left, not that the political affiliations matter because they're completely irrelevant, whether this happens on the left or right, it is still potentially illegal because these people's information is now out there. They're putting it out in a way where any enemy, any person who hates them, whatever, that sees that is incentivized.
I don't even know Dylan Burns. Your Honor, I barely even looked at his content. I didn't even read this post. I just saw some images. I thought it was hieroglyphics. I was confused. I thought the Bad Empanada was posting runes. My prescription isn't updated.
To go out there and take some sort of action, especially knowing that things like this have happened in the past. For example, with Hunter Avalon, who's on that list, has had an incident in the past where he was almost killed with the crazy ex who came and shot his girlfriend, that whole situation. So you've got a history here where this can happen when information is put out there, and you're putting these people at risk. This is something that a reasonable person whose information is put that on the internet in front of hundreds of thousands of people, potentially millions, is going to be afraid of. And that's what people who have seen this and reacted to this are saying. For example, here is Hutch, who is talking about this scenario and how and how it's violative of at least the Twitch TOS.
Not only was he doing these baseless accusations, he doxed us. He doxed us. He doxed. It's like prominently featured on his screen. Like, hello? Hello? Are we, like, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, like, I reported the VOD. The VOD is still up, like, you can find the VOD on his channel. I reported the VOD.
Hutch, I barely even fucking watched Banos Gaming. I don't even know Hutch. I didn't even want... I don't even know C-Nanners. What are you talking about? I've never played Call of Duty before. You're just lying. I'm sorry I keep going back. I just feel like that was the worst argument you could use against doxing. But I get that it wasn't an argument for anybody else than his ignorant fan base, I guess.
I sent an email to Twitch support. I added them. If there's no consequence for this, I don't know what there's just no rules. I don't understand. It's a blatant violation of Twitch's doxing policy. If you go to their policy,
which we'll go to later as well,
this is what it says about doxing. Doxing of any kind is prohibited by Twitch's community guidelines, even if the perpetrators only expose information available via the public record.
And that's the key there. So even under Twitch's policy, even if that information is in the public record, even if it's something that's out there, that's something that can be, that's against their policy. So even if you could find that somewhere online, right? Even if that's posted somewhere online, that's not good enough. And by the way, for California law, that's also not good enough. Once again, not every state has these laws, but some states do, which is why it can indeed constitute cyber harassment, right? And we're going to talk about the two California laws.
Sometimes my cat lays like he's dead. Sometimes it's really like he's out cold. His eyes are still wide open, like wide awake. Hey. He looked at me. There he is. Just taking a quick nap. Sorry, had to share.
That this clearly would fall within the scope of if law enforcement decide to actually look at this and take this seriously. The first one is electronic harassment. That's under 153.2 of the California Penal Code. And that one reads, every person with intent to place another person in reasonable fear for his safety or the safety of their family by means of electronic communication and without consent, of course these people didn't consent, and for the purpose of imminently causing the other person unwanted contact, injury, harassment by a third party, and they electronically distribute, publish emails, link, hyperlinks, or make available personal identifying information, including but not limited to a digital image or electronic message of a harassing nature, which would be likely to incite or produce an unlawful action, is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail or by a fine of not more than $1,000 or by both fine and imprisonment. So you see that here. So what do we have? With electronic harassment, it doesn't in this statute anywhere say that the information has to be quote unquote private or secret or confidential. No, even public information that contains that identifiable information, the name.
Does he bring up? Because I think regardless of the law, he's once again breaking Twitch's terms of service, preventing doxing, swatting, and other IRL harm. The term doxing comes from the phrase dropping docs, where docs is short for documents. Doxing refers to the malicious practice of collecting, often for multiple sources, and sharing another user's private or identifying information. Information used to dox may be collected via public databases, hacking, or via social engineering, such as phishing or spoofing. Doxing, and then they give more examples and stuff, but doxing isn't necessarily illegal if the information exposed is part of the public record. Such information includes arrest records, marriage certificates, major traffic violations, and real estate transactions. All that stuff is public record and not illegal. But doxing of any kind is prohibited by Twitch's community guidelines, even if the perpetrators only expose information available via the public record. If the personal identifiable information is released on Twitch without your consent, you can file a report and we will investigate and enforce against the doxer if appropriate. So once again, just Hasan being able to skirt across the boundaries and just get around it for no reason other than being Hasan, I guess. Kind of crazy, if you ask me. Sorry, I forgot the TOS does not apply to the CEO of Twitch's favorite streamer. I don't have a cat, but they cool. Maybe they're too tough for me. Yeah, they can be. Bro bit me earlier for no reason. I was just walking past and he just bit me. And I was like, it wasn't even like hard. It was just a nip. And I was like, why did you do that? And then he meowed and walked away. And I think he was just warning me that he could. You know, he had to let me know that there's a possibility. And to always stay on my toes because I never know when it's really coming. And, you know, that's all fine and dandy, but, you know, I can't stand for this for too long. You know, I can't stand idly by and let him run this shit. But sorry, back to Hasan.
The address, the state, the city, all that stuff where someone could come and find them and harass them and would incentivize people. And we know there are unhinged people. We see it every day, particularly in the United States, guys. We see it all the time where people are just going to people's houses, attacking them, doing crazy things, unhinged things, illegal things. And it's very likely to incentivize that unlawful action. And the only criteria here is whether it seriously alarms, annoys, torments, or terrorizes a reasonable person. And let's be honest, if any of you out there at home had your address and home showed on a stream with 50,000, 100,000 people that were, you know, maybe 500,000 that are going to watch that video, yeah, I'm sure you would be at least annoyed.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd at least be seriously annoyed. That would be fucking seriously annoying. I don't know how alarmed I'd be. You know, that always, and that's the thing, is like each person individually might feel a different way, but that's why it doesn't matter the extent of their own, of the individual, like, impact. It's about the possibility. You know what I mean? What if they have a heart attack? What if they drop dead? They could be so horrified that they're, oh no, my arrest records are out there. Now everybody knows. Oh no, I have to change my name again. No, I'm just saying. I do get it that it's good for many reasons, and some people might think that it's that maybe there's too much of a gray area. But I think realistically, it probably prevents more than it would harm, since, you know, doxing has happened in the past, which has resulted in actual deaths. It's probably just better to not let it be known. Let it be known. I don't even know. You know, it's complicated, because if somebody's like what do we do if someone's a sex offender? Because then, wouldn't their registry also show their address if you looked them up? But it's like, how far do we let it go? Well, I don't think sex offenders are actually allowed to be on social media, are they? Isn't that like part of it? Isn't that something? I think I've heard that before. Need to learn the laws more. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're watching Legal Mindset.
Annoyed, right? Seriously annoyed. So it would meet that standard. The other thing is there's no legitimate purpose to his doxing. Look, this is not to have some sort of fundraiser. This is not, you know, a business saying, hey, go buy from them or whatever else. This is somebody's personal address at home.
Oh, so apparently there used to be laws that outright banned sex offenders from social media, but the U.S. Supreme Court struck that down in 2017. Why? I mean, okay. The world we live in, am I right?
Right? So there's no good reason why you need to be giving out that information. And, you know, look, the penalty is not crazy. It's 1 year in jail. It's not a life sentence. It's not the death penalty, right? But there is a consequence for this action, and this could stack with multiple people. Yes, that could stack up. The other statute is number 646.9. This is a California Penal Code, and this is when any person willfully, maliciously, or repeatedly follows or willfully, maliciously harasses another person and who makes a credible threat with intent to place that person in reasonable fear or the safety of their family. And that's once again punishable by the same penalty. So to harass, once again, means to seriously alarm, annoy, torment, or terrorize, right, through your conduct. Okay. And it can be electronic. So credible threat means verbal or written, including performed through the use of an electronic communication device. So when you're using the internet, that counts. That's enough, right? And what is this intending to do? Well, it's intending to alarm, annoy, torment, terrorize those people. There's no legit purpose.
Because Trump couldn't have a Twitter. That lines up awfully. Something to think about. That's probably interfering with the freedom of speech and all that American crap. Nah, yeah. See, that's what I was thinking about. Is like, because having it be in law, like if the sites themselves prohibited sex offenders, that'd be one thing, but also how would you, the only way to do that would be like everybody would have to ID or whatever, also complicated, or people getting doxxed and, you know, sending the, like, I guess it'd be complicated, it would be complicated, but to have it written in law would technically be an infringement on freedom of speech, whereas having independent businesses prohibit it is up to their own, like, their own choice. But because the whole idea is like a YouTube or Instagram, they can censor whatever they want because you could still go outside and say what you want on a street corner. That's what freedom of speech like actually, protects. Freedom to go outside and be like, oh, and create your own newspaper or whatever and hand it out.
And you don't need to prove under these statutes, a cyber stalking statute, or rather the stalking statute that has a cyber element, it does not require you to prove that they're actually harmed, just that you are causing them fear. And I think, once again, a reasonable person would be in fear after hearing this under California law. So, you could stack up those two charges. Look at that. Just those two charges from one person. Well, it's up to 2 years there and a fine. I mean, that's pretty serious time there. Now let's look at Twitch's liability. So Twitch, at this point, we heard Hutch say he's informed Twitch. And I'm sure there's other people that have. So at this point, Twitch knows. Twitch cannot say they don't know. Dan Clancy cannot say, I was unaware of this. I didn't know this was happening. And at this point, under their own policy, which very much describes doxing as showing the real name, contact information, social security number, and home address. So you've got the three: real name, contact, home address. You've got that information out there that he's putting out there that's clearly doxing. Now, they do have another section, which I'm not showing here, which says, okay, well, not all doxing is necessarily illegal. If something is public, it's not necessarily illegal. And that is true because in certain states, it's only private information or confidential information, etc. In other states, the statutes are ambiguous, but California is pretty straightforward. California includes information even that is public. And
see, I didn't know that. That's interesting because people do always talk about what is publicly available information, but I guess that makes sense that it's like I feel like most things kind of, it comes up to the state.
In their policy, it doesn't matter either. Just like was read earlier, doxing of any kind is prohibited under Twitch's community guidelines, even if the perpetrators only expose information available via public record. So you see right there, it doesn't matter if the PII was public. If it's released without consent, file a report, we'll investigate and enforce against the doxer if appropriate. So they're choosing to say that his behavior is okay. And what I'm saying here is they've been informed, they've been alerted, they allow this. At this point, they're allowing it repeatedly. It's not just a one-time thing. I've talked about this before. This has gone again and again. It's a clear violation of the terms of service. It's openly disregarded due to bias. And at this point, it's not speculative at all. There's a bias here. They've got Hasan as the golden boy. We get it. We get it. We get it. He obviously gets a slap on the wrist when everybody else would get a permanent ban or a very, very, very long-term ban for the exact same conduct. This opens the door to future escalation to situations like what happened to Hunter Avalon, unfortunately, right? No one wants these things to happen. Of course, if there was a situation where somebody unfortunately had an incident where there's an assault, a battery, even, like I said, an attempted murder, right? These things can all happen. If this happens, Twitch will then have blood on its hands because they have known this stuff could happen. They have known these situations can happen, and they have ignored that. When a third party takes action based on what Hasan is doing or based on what any other content creator on Twitch is doing, that can come back to them. That can absolutely come back to them, and it will. And it's playing with fire. It's absolutely dangerous. It's reckless. And at this point, it's willful. It's willful. They know.
Hasan and crew really fucked up by pissing off LawTube. I mean, they're helping. LawTube is basically banding together to help build cases. They're building, counterclaims and all different types of stuff. Very interesting. We're all becoming more knowledgeable for it, right? Maybe Hasan is doing good things. Anyone else notice that Quasar strokes his mustache as he listens? Sorry, I'm twiddling with my mustache. Got to make sure it isn't covering my mouth weird. Like what happened to empathy? How the fuck would you feel if someone revealed your info online? Well, I mean, I don't even know what goes on in Hasan's brain, honestly. Because him going, I don't even know Dylan Burns. What are you talking about? It's like, is he that dense? Does he think his audience is that dense? Does he think everybody is that dense? I don't know.
Know what they're doing, and they're choosing willfully to ignore it. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
I watched YouTube where a YouTuber got mass reported by Maps because he made a vid on a Christian pedo. It's a coordinated effort from a Discord server with 200 members. I'm pretty sure Hasan's VODs are reported in bigger numbers, surely. Twitch is either such a broken website or it's Dan Clancy's dictatorship, unironically. Wow, that's crazy. I'd like to talk about that, but I don't want to get taken down by a bunch of pedophiles. Hasan is 100% a narcissist. I could believe that, honestly. There's certain things that he... I mean...
Why do people keep saying Superman, Hasan, superhero, W?
How much more is there to say? I mean, come on. Oh wait, I had another good one.
Chad is right! Chad is right! I'm disabled!
So let's continue. That's how I feel most streams, but let's move on.
Welcome,
This is Hasan Piker has hit a new low, doxing controversy. Sorry to everybody that's already seen this, but we gotta look at it.
everybody, to another H3 VOD VOD experience. Today, I am joined by the great Hutch, who is here to discuss Bad Empanada and Hasan as egregious doxing and defaming of himself. And
I think Hasan's fans think it's cool that he's a liar. I honestly haven't thought about that angle. That's also a possibility. They just think it's super dope that he just like gets over on people. It's like, whoa, bro. He's so fucking elusive. Nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. Except for me. I'm in on it. I guess it kind of fits that, because I have thought of that. That like they think that they're just in on it, but I don't. It's like we just have both of the clips though. That's the thing. Like you saw, I pulled up like the 1-to-1 of just him being so obviously doxing all those people, and then sometime later going, oh well, I don't even know Dylan Burns. Like it's just it genuinely boggles the mind.
others, how are you, Hutch?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Very good to have you on. And if people want to check out Hutch, by the way, it's just Hutch, right?
It's just Hutch on YouTube and Twitch, and then it's Hutchinson on Twitter.
There it is. So this all started when Bad Empanada made a video last month about you and others being involved in a program called Progressive Victory, right?
It was Progressive Victory PAC, yeah. And it's basically just this PAC that exists to push for progressive policies and candidates all over the country, yeah.
And what is the criticism? People say it's dark money, or that it's like shady, that it's not disclosed, or what's your response to all that?
I think PV gets their funds from a 501c4, so like it is dark money. So I mean, that's a separate conversation to have. Like, should left-leaning people ever take dark money? That's, I guess, a fair conversation to have. But when you look at like TPUSA, for example, they're taking in like tens of millions of dollars, and so I don't personally think it's defensible to say that left-wing creators should just completely stay away from dark money.
Yeah, one thing that I found particularly disingenuous was in Taylor's reporting, Taylor Lorenz's recent article about Chorus and all these people who are working with them. She compares Chorus, who is paying people up to between like $1,000 and $8,000 a month, to Tenet, who is paying people millions of dollars being funded.
I saw these people that were trying to say that them working and taking money from these PACs is somehow against terms of service, because there was something that said, and maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I didn't save it, but it was something basically along the lines of, you're not allowed to receive money for like political affiliation through Twitch. So I don't think it would matter about what you're doing on Twitch. It would just be, you cannot like accept it as like a donation on stream or something that is then like being used to promote some affiliation. And I think that's probably in part because Twitch would then be partly affiliated through their own like monetary gain through the percentage that they would get. whereas otherwise they are just the platform that it's being presented on. Free speech and all that.
Funded by a foreign adversary government.
Dark money is just a weird name. I thought it was like counterfeit bills or something at first. It makes it sound illegal. Yeah, dark money. I mean, it sounds cooler than it is, I think.
So the other thing too is like with Tenet, there were deliverables. So Tenet was paying people like Tim Pool and Dave Rubin to actually give them content, serve them content.
There is.
People in Chorus, there were no deliverables, and there was.
In politics, particularly the politics of the United States, dark money refers to spending to influence elections, public policy, and political discourse, where the source of the money is not disclosed to the public. So it's not technically dark money, right? Because they know that they were working with them? Because what do you mean the source of the money? Like the benefactors that are paying into these nonprofits? Because I guess maybe that would be dark money in a sense, I guess. This fucking political cartoon's pretty cool.
The nation's capital, taken hostage by the menace of dark money. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh.
That's what dark money sounds like.
Oh, oh, oh.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Need to get up on my politics game. Where is Chorus getting their money from? Israel? It's a question. Just saying. Mossad? Like, genuinely, these people, it's just so... Because I think the first step of figuring out where the money's coming from is to look at what it's promoting, right? You can't just make vague fucking claims and be like, it's destiny, it's fucking destiny. Actually crazy stuff.
There's not been any indication that Chorus had any creative control over their output. So they're very, very...
Yeah, more like the public is in the dark rather than dark meaning bad or evil. Well, that's what I'm saying is it's not inherently insidious, but is more... you can see how it can be more easily manipulated if, by insidious groups or whatever. If there is an angle that could be pushed. So like, you understand the worry, but I think you would have to look at also what they're presenting rather than just, I don't know, just pointing at it being quote unquote dark money. I thought it was Houthis who were musical people. I don't know.
Very different structures. Yeah.
What I understand is that
it does sound pretty hardcore.
Some kind of incubator for small or upcoming or mid-sized creators, or for a bit larger creators to mentor them to kind of help build the left apparatus media.
Yeah, that's so like Brian Tyler Cohen, obviously a really big liberal creator on YouTube. Right after the election, he was making the same observation that a lot of us were making, which is that there's this huge asymmetry in media and alternative media. So like right wingers, they have a stronghold in social media. They're very well funded. They put out way more content. And he was making the case that we need to start like elevating more people in the liberal progressive space. And so he founded this nonprofit organization. He's not taking any kind of a paycheck. And just like right after the election, this loss, he started actually like walking the walk in a way to really materially uplift like smaller creators so that we can start to maybe compete at some point with right wingers. And for that, they're calling him corrupt or something. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, especially from him. I mean, he's a busy guy with an extremely successful channel. And he's working for this organization for free.
He's actually putting in the time,
which is worth a lot of money to him, his time. And he's putting in his time for free to help mentor people. And it's very much like a fighting fire with fighter situation where the Republicans, the right apparatus, is always willing to wield whatever weaponry they can. Morals, justifications aside, totally secondary, right? Like winning at all costs is their thing. And that's why the left is just being destroyed on so many fronts. So it's like, if things aren't going to change on the law side, then it's time to just like get in, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I feel like most of the people in that program would probably be in favor of some kind of constitutional amendment or law to get rid of dark money in politics.
Right.
But, that's a really high bar. And so long as dark money is in politics, for us to just cut ourselves off from that, I think is a bit suicidal.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. You can both participate in it because you kind of have to, but also advocate for change. So that's Taylor Lorenz's article. But we're talking about this video first that Bad Empanada made called Zionist Slop Tubers Are All Paid. And you can see here, I've got the thumbnail open. It has a picture of you on the thumbnail, Loner Box, who's a friend of the show also, and Dylan Burns, who, as far as I know, this guy is goes to the front.
Am I tripping, or does this kind of look like Trisha? Like there's something in the eyes and the eyebrows. Am I tripping?
Line of a horrifically violent and dangerous war to report on
Trisha Paytas? Trisha Hackman?
On the ground. And I don't understand why they're targeting even him. I don't
Yes, remember to like and subscribe. Tell all of your 73 friends to subscribe as well. Let me pin that real quick. I hope I got the right one. There we go. It looks like Angela from Smosh. It does look like Angela from Smosh too, actually. It's like if Angela and Trisha Paytas had a baby. Deaf Trish coded.
Understand why they're talking to you. I mean,
close. Squint your eyes. Turn your head to the side. Do you see her? Do you see her? Oh my god, that actually worked. If I actually like blur my vision a little bit and like kind of look at it from an angle, that is Trisha Paytas. Looks like Samuel L. Jackson. There's that's a possibility too. Trisha does say that she looks like him, so that is a that is a possibility.
None of you guys are really pro-Israel, so what the only commonality is really that you all kind of don't like Hasan for one reason or another.
Well, we were all in that, like we all worked with that pack. This was work that was disclosed. Like I disclosed it on my stream constantly. I have a Nightbot command that still functions to this day, disclosing that I was partnering with PB. They were in my Twitter bio. Yeah.
So what did you do with Progressive Victory?
It's basically just a pack to promote progressive policies and candidates all over the country. So they did canvassing events for like Andy Kim in New Jersey, I think. They did one for Kamala Harris in Wisconsin. I was there. We weren't paid to be at that canvassing event. But they also did one for Jamal Bowman. So like he is a very outspoken anti-Israel critic. So the idea that Progressive Victory was some Zionist entity, it just crumbles when you point to a couple different things.
Right.
They approached Hasan to work with him. Why are they doing that?
It really is interesting because it's like anytime somebody tries to bridge the gap, it's torn down by people that just love the infighting. What is the actual like? Because I guess I've said this for a while, like for a bit, where it's like, what is your end goal? But even when some of them have an end goal, there isn't like a path to that goal. And I think that's kind of the most important thing is like there's steps towards anything, whether it be geopolitical conflicts or local politics. You kind of need to take it baby steps, especially because you're going to be facing opposition the whole way through, and it's not going to benefit anybody to just keep infighting, because those are the people that you're going to be able to sway the easiest. So if you're arguing with them the most, then there's no hope.
Frogan helped them organize an event to get out the vote
Zionists.
for
They're all-
something. Emma Vigeland, Ryan Grimm, Vosh,
Zionists,
none of these people.
Zionists, Mossad
Right, yeah.
operatives.
So either Hasan is lying, or he's accusing all of his friends or whoever else of working with a Zionist pack. Like you can only have one of those two things. You can't have, yeah.
Some of the Zionist slop tubers who we've covered on this channel have been paid by Zionist organizations for quote unquote advertising services.
Here's what I want to do. Let's pull up Hasan's video. Let me play this.
Is because it's already public. Like one of the examples I'll give you is a Progressive Victory, right? They approached me a million fucking times, but because they were like aligned and affiliated with Destiny, and because they were like being run by Brianna Wu, I was like, I'm not touching that shit. And there's some nice
that's such like a nihilistic outlook. They're aligned with Destiny, but they want to work with me. Fucking change it from the inside. Try and sway the audience. Make, I think it's because Hasan knows that in actual debate, in the times that they have had conversations, he's gotten upset that Destiny's made himself more clear than Hasan has, and it's led to people siding with that. It's what led to people siding with Destiny, even when they're both like making the same point, which is kind of funny. So I think that's part of it, but also I think that it's ridiculous to think that an event that wants your perspective is somehow not worth your time when there's an audience there's an audience's like mind to change. Because it sounds like what you're saying is like, oh, this isn't an echo chamber. This isn't going to, there's going to be pushback in some way. And it's not going to look good for me. Pussy shit.
Right. Nice people that work there, some people who are truly ambitious, but what it turned into was a fucking slush fund for.
I'm just so confused about the timeline. Didn't Hasan just disavow Bad Emma Panda? Was this like a week ago, but just got clipped, or is he flip-flopping? He's flip-flopping as always. I mean, he'll use whatever is beneficial in the moment. And it's like, yeah, this seemed like such a nothing burger to pull up the Bad Empanada tweet. Like, you know what I mean? That doxed everybody. Unless he wanted to dox everybody as well. Just so crazy.
Destiny's best friends.
Now that right
and
there.
Again, that's all speculation. I do not know the intricacies of Hasan Piker's mind. Hasan Piker. I need some Alex Jones sound bites.
It's pretty insane, right?
That's a really serious thing, like to accuse someone of doing. Like he's basically accusing me and everyone that was involved with this pack of defrauding people who donated money to it. Right. He's accusing us of, I guess, not doing any work. Like the other thing to point out here, which is really crucial to understanding why this is so insane, was that Destiny was not a formal part of this pack. He did not fund the pack. He did not fund the creators. They collaborated with him, I think, 2 times for canvassing events. But like I said a moment ago, they also collaborated with Vosh and Emma Vigeland and Ryan Grimm. And
Frogan.
I think this was before. If that's the case, I retract my previous statement. Oopsie.
And Frogan, yeah, she helped to turn out the vote kind of thing.
And Valkyrie.
And Pokimane, and then the list goes on. I mean, there's
literally
so many other.
He knows.
Right, there's so many other creators in the probably most of the creators in the program that were anti-Israel. But I mean, just the casual nature of accusing all of us of defrauding donors and just like taking money corruptly. I can't believe like people just throw that out there so flippantly. Like I was pretty shocked when I saw him say that, because there's just nothing that you can point to at all.
I don't think it's about clout or money, but more like ego, anything to feed his own ego. I think that that's probably the case, and it's why he doesn't want to spread his ideas at the chance of like not getting, I guess, patted on the head like every step of the way. Not have people in chat.
Why do people keep saying Superman Hasan superhero W?
Like having people with genuine pushback is not fun for him. So I think that it is just about stroking his ego on some level.
To justify that claim, like nothing.
And it's really interesting to see how they deployed the Destiny boogeyman. Like Destiny is not even involved in this pack, and somehow, and even though it includes almost everybody he knows, he's still somehow able to deploy Destiny as this omnipresent boogeyman that explains that all of Destiny's friends are being paid by a slush fund.
This is what they do. Like when that crowd identifies you as an enemy for deviating even just 1% from their orthodoxy, they will call you a Zionist and they will call you a Destiny orbiter, even though I have not spoken to Destiny since January. Like,
are you a Destiny orbiter, Hutch?
I have never been a Destiny orbiter. Yeah, the whole situation is just you know, I like, listen, we cover politics. You know, I don't know how much you guys cover politics these days, but if you're a political creator, you know, you hop into this arena.
Then why is Hutch on the Destiny wiki? Why is Hutch on the... Hutch is a streamer that primarily streams on Twitch, splitting his time primarily between US federal politics and FPS gaming. Primarily in the Call of Duty... Dude, they used primarily 3 times already. Being on Twitch where Destiny is banned, his drop-ins and calls on Destiny streams tend to be few and far between, but are always amicable in nature. Hutch has a storied history on YouTube, starting out at Machinima. Ooh, he was at Machinima Respawn. Ooh. Wow, Hutch is really 42? He's looking good. I know this is an old image. He's looking good though. 42. Just two 40-year-old men having a conversation, you know. What are these 40-year-old men talking about YouTube drama for? Who gives a fuck if Hasan doxed you, bro? You're 40. You're 42, dog.
You know, and you kind of
Hasan's like fucking in his... Hasan's like only in his early 30s, bro. It's not a big deal.
No, like one of the things you have to just make peace with is that you're going to be dealing with people that have, you know, pretty big communities. They're going to be really passionate about these issues, and that's fine. Like if you want to call me bald or ugly or whatever. Like that stuff does not hurt my feelings after like 16 years on the internet. If you want to attack my positions and say that I have a bad argument or something like that, that's fair game. I might even concede that it's a bad argument in this case or that case. But to accuse me and everybody else that was involved with that pack of like this kind of corruption, and they took it.
I knew that it was I didn't. I knew that it was a boy. I was saying, do you see her about Trisha? But hey, being a beautiful man is no problem. I mean, hey. I wish I looked like a woman. Drop it in chat. What percentage do I look like a woman?
It even further. I mean, he was claiming that they were paying us to be, you know, silent on Gaza. There's
ban Emma Panda, force feminize Dylan Burns. Oh no. No.
Nothing to point to justify that claim. Like nothing.
That's a really heinous accusation.
In these days, especially when people are...
That's like a kill shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it in that crowd, it's like the mortal sin because, you know, they're anti-capitalist and they're anti-colonial. Like that's like that, or anti-imperialist, whatever you want to call it. So like those are their 2 foundational principles. And so this kind of combines both of those things. So like we're corruptly influenced by money to be silent about a genocide. And so I can't...
Just go up to your Hasan fan coworker and be like, Destiny owns him. Don't actually do that. It would be super cringe and lame. If they're bringing up Hasan, I think they'll probably be their own downfall. So just give it time. Try not to shudder in public too much.
can't think of like there's only a few things that you could be accused of in the space that would be worse than that, and he just did it so casually, based on nothing.
Yeah, he's conditioned his audience to kind of just uncritically accept whatever he says, and it's really helped him kind of skirt any criticism and really just to level the most defamatory and just malicious claims against his perceived political opponents. I mean, they claim that I'm a Destiny Orbiter, and I've never even spoken to him. I don't even fucking know the guy. And I'm a Destiny Orbiter. Meanwhile, we got...
Yeah, I guess if they're a friend, that's one thing. If they're a friend, then you should be able to have amicable conversations about stuff that you have differing opinions on. There's no reason to call anybody a genocide supporter or, anything like that. So I think that if you're friends, shouldn't be a big deal. I guess I've never thought about coworkers as friends. Every time I've been at work, I've always just been like doing my job. Someone tries to have a conversation, I'm like, yup, doing my job again. I'm here to make money. I'm here to have fun. That's why I'm talking to all of you. If you caught me on the job site, ooh. On a bad day, ooh. Ooh. I might not even look at you. This is terrible. But it doesn't matter because I don't have any of their contact information anyways. I don't know any of them. Every job that I've had previously, I've never learned anybody's name. Not a manager, not a coworker, nobody. I just don't care to know them. I know who they are. I remember their faces. Hey, what's up? Oh, yeah, what's up? We have a conversation. How often are you actually saying somebody's name? It's not necessary in most conversations. And if you're like, oh, how am I supposed to talk about them? Why are you talking about them when they're not around? Oh, yeah, he did this, she did this, they did this. Easy as that. I don't need to know names. I'm here for... You know what names I need to know? George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Jackson, Benjamin Franklin. Is it Jefferson who's on the 50? $50 bill. Or it's Grant. I saw the image and I was like, it's Ulysses S. Grant, but I didn't want to say the name and get it wrong. I know my presidents. Herbert Hoover.
Hasan on the record saying shit like this.
If Destiny was my roommate, I'd get him laid all the time.
I mean, why is he trying to get that guy laid? That's the last thing that guy needs.
I wanted to say that what you said really resonates with me too, because before all of this, like, people would call me ugly, a skeleton, whatever. I could handle that. I had no problem with those things. It was funny to me. But nowadays, it's resorted to like calling me a terrorist, a valid target,
baby killer,
a baby killer.
Yeah.
And it all originated from us just not fully agreeing to the 1000% on all points.
And I didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole because I was like, I can't be.
I think I'll wait a minute on the poll. I was about to put the poll up, but I think I'll wait until my clock says 11:45. That's 20 minutes, 19 minutes, same thing.
Line with something like this because of the people that I am, the people that are running this, and also the people that they think are good voices.
No, exactly. You can be friendly without being friends. Yeah, I'm not a dickhead. I was joking around when saying that. I'm not like an actual asshole. But I don't find it necessary to be friends with anybody. The not learning people's name thing is kind of dickish, I won't lie. I only know 100. Oh, I skipped the 10. I wasn't even thinking. I only know 100 bills because I had a towel, and 10s because of Hamilton. So true.
And it's the people that they think are good voices.
And it's also kind of telling because, Hasan says that he didn't want to be a part of this because of the people that were associated with it. And, you know, fine, that's fair. But the whole point was that you had these people with really wildly diverse viewpoints on things, but they were all getting together to sort of like get out the vote during an election. So those creators were willing to put those differences aside for some kind of greater cause. And that was just not a factor in Hasan's thinking or whatever. It's also getting worse. So I've been, you know, I'm super online. And so like, I've just been really plugged into this political space, especially like left-wing political space.
You NPC'd throughout your whole career? Yeah, I did. That's a good way of putting it. What's the issue with that? I'm just saying. What is actually the issue with that? I go there, I can shut off my brain. See, I had long hair at the time too. So I'd sneak a headphone, just wear a headphone every single day. My ears were covered. Nobody knew a thing.
For a really long time. And their anger has been escalating more and more. So they got really pissed after 2016 when Bernie lost. They got really upset in 2020 when Bernie lost again in the primaries after Super Tuesday. And it was really during the Biden years, because I used to be friendly with like a lot of these people. I did collaborations with Mike. I did collaborations with Hasan. And back then Trump was the villain, like such a clear villain. And so there just wasn't as many opportunity for super disagreements. But during the Biden years is when things really kind of clicked for me that, wait a second, I think these people are maybe like pretty destructive and not helpful.
Also, ironically, now they hate Bernie Sanders. You can no longer admit to being a Bernie Sanders supporter in these spaces. Otherwise, you're pro-genocide.
Yeah, according to BE. I mean, they don't like AOC. A lot of them don't like AOC anymore because she...
I think it does, again, like, I haven't talked about this in a minute, I feel like, but I feel like people forget that most of the time it is a vocal minority. Like, it isn't the majority of people that feel this way. It really is the people that are willing to scream the loudest that feel this way. And a lot of the times it's nihilistic and, you know, yeah, it's like it's almost like a pushing against any actual progress, which sucks. Because it's just a hindrance on your own side. But I think that hopefully some people will grow up.
You know, she was pretty strong in support of Kamala. You know, she gave a really strong speech in support of her at the DNC. And they're going to turn on Mamdani at some point.
I 100% agree. As much as people are alarmist about him being like anti-Zionist and all this, or like pro-terrorism and all this hysteria, which I totally disagree with, because I've seen him speak and he's, by all accounts, seems like a really nice, thoughtful guy. But I've also seen him say stuff like his heart is with these Israeli civilians who were killed on October 7th, and that he doesn't deny the atrocities. And I'm like, well, that right there alone is going
to... I saw this on Twitter, So Yeet on Twitter posted this. I saw this on Reddit. Ethan and Hutch were right. This is slightly different, but Zoran Mamdani breaks away from his online counterparts and denounces purity politics. Says the leftist bandwagon is open for everyone. We don't ask them where they've been or why they haven't joined yet. Too often we practiced the politics of purity. Stop the purity testing. You gonna spit on him now? Spit on Bernie? Come on, guys. What are we doing? Stop acting like ideologues. It's a bad. Shame, 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 shame. We know your name.
to get him in trouble when people start, you know.
He's very far left in his politics. However, I think he ran a really savvy campaign, and he's showing...
So true. Mamdani?
Based?
I think he's showing himself to be pretty pragmatic, like, now. And so, you know, if I was in New York, I would definitely vote for him for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just getting back to the thing before, I mean, it's just the accusation that PV was doing Israeli propaganda is so absurd when you look at the list of creators that they were working with. And there is literally nothing you can say to justify that claim. And the fact that he acknowledges in the same breath that they approached him to collaborate, I think that shows you right there that it's not a misunderstanding. He's maliciously lying, obviously, because if PV was this super Zionist organization, then they obviously would not be trying to collaborate with him.
Yeah, of course.
It just makes no fucking sense. You know.
Well, and that's what I mean is it's so stupid when you're being offered a platform, especially one that is different than your own. I feel like that is something that you would want to like jump on because you're spreading not only your ideas, but like I don't know, there's just like it's just so I feel like the arguments are so bad that it just falls apart on itself. But then he can, I mean, like we just saw, he can so easily just lie about, oh, I didn't dox anybody. I don't know Dylan Burns. I never watched Vanoss. I don't know who Hutch is. But, yeah, it's, like I'm saying, does he think we're that dumb or does he think his audience is that dumb? That's the real question. Because maybe his audience thinks they're in on it. That could be the case. But how can he think we're that dumb? Like, really?
No, it's not some small thing. It's like Hilo was saying, you know, it's if you make fun of my appearance or something, if superficial, it's whatever. It really doesn't bother me. It really does bother me when people are accusing me of something that corrupt. Like that's profoundly upsetting. And I think like for someone that has his size of an audience to do something like that so casually is crazy. Talk about corruption. Talk about being corrupted with power.
Right.
To weaponize your own audience in that way is just one of the most reprehensible things that you can do.
Let's continue.
People in Destiny's orbit for God knows what. These are like relatively small streamers who clearly have no...
I love Hasan nodding along. Yes, Destiny, yes. It's all Destiny, yes.
Why do people keep saying Superman, Hasan, superhero?
Yes, it's all Destiny.
Orbit for God knows what. These are like relatively small streamers who clearly have no real pull. And paying them for advertising services is fucking insane, given that they have no pull. What?
Yeah, it's like Hunter Avalon. There's like a lot of orbiters. There's a dude who is Destiny's chef. Like he used to sometimes appear.
I know about this guy, Destiny's Chef, ironically. He's like super anti-Israel.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like if you go to Lycan's webpage, he is like
Court cancels Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu's trial hearings this week. Yesterday, Trump threatens to withhold aid to Israel unless the court reverses their decision to move forward with Netanyahu's trial. Today, Israeli court reverses their decisions and postpones it. What a joke. And then Lycan said, just example 24,601 of why the U.S. has leverage over Israel that could be used to stop the genocide, but doesn't. So a little bit of evidence there. But this is all just a farce. It's a facade. It's other words that mean that it's a lie.
Especially anti-Israel. So the fact that Hasan is referencing him is just another reason why this whole line of attack makes no sense.
And then he, like you pointed out, but he's like, and they even wanted me.
Right. Yeah.
For their for their Zionist propaganda one, they wanted Hasan Piker. Okay, Mossad agent, double agent.
It's like
well, what some of them are saying is like they did that to keep people off their trail. But like, it's like at that point you're at that point you've now broed yourself into like a really ridiculous conspiracy theory that doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Videos named Lycan.
Well, yeah, Destiny had a few people that were his orbiters that moved to Miami, I think. One of them being Lycan, who he pays to basically just come and do all of his cooking for him. Does like meal prep and shit for him.
And who's just his chef apparently, and he gets paid there as well.
I love how he goes, apparently, I don't know, but this guy's on the payroll.
And
so,
it's just
like another thing to point out is that the program wound down after the election. So nobody's getting paid, like no creators are getting paid by PV, and they're speaking about it in the current tense, like we're still getting paid. And it was like four or 5 months of work, and that was it. Yeah.
It was explicitly for the election.
It was not just like one election. It was like elections all over the country and other progressive causes. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think he's slipping up a little bit here because I don't think he's blurring the line. I think he's very clearly stepping beyond it with these accusations he's making against you and some of the other ones that are clearly anti-Israel, right? It's just, I don't even think it's really debatable at this point.
It's an obvious malicious lie. There's just no other way to interpret it. Yeah.
So he's pulling up bad empanadas.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah, glass houses and glass chefs, if you will. Because, I mean, regardless of... Like, it is weird to have one of your orbiters be your chef, but Hasan does pay for a chef that is... I mean, he either has his mom be a chef, which I feel like is a little bit worse, or he pays some service to have a chef come in. Or, like, I think he claimed at one point his mom sets it up for him, which, again, is like, why? Why are you having your mom... Why are you making your mom do that, bro? Hire a fucking... an assistant. Come on.
Tweets here, and what she's straight up doxing all of these creators that Hasan is now identified as Zionist propagandists, right?
Like, why is it so hard to believe that Hasan is really like hoarding wealth? Like, I feel like, why is that so hard to believe? If Hasan is truly living the way that he claims, he has his mom, he has an expensive car and an expensive house. He lives with his mom, who cooks him food every day. He doesn't pay his mods or like anybody, basically. It's just like on so many levels, he's just like... And then he just goes on super expensive trips, you know, across the world. To different countries and all that. Going on just little fun... little outings for like a weekend. Not beating the capitalist allegations. Pay a chef, bro. I mean, literally, I feel like it's less of a problem if he was like, I don't know, it's so odd to me. Isn't it more, theoretically speaking, like if we're just speaking in all of this, like wouldn't that make Destiny more of like a a socialist, he's spreading his wealth among the people that are in his like inner circle and trying to, there's something there. There is something there. It doesn't necessarily expand outward, and he is just paying them outright without percentages, I assume. But I imagine somebody like Lycan's got to be getting paid pretty good to just be a streamer chef.
And, backtrack to just a month or two ago when Noah Samson was saying it's time to elevate against these propagandists. Protest isn't enough. We know where they are. Mm-hmm. And now Hasan is pulling up Bad Empanada, their attack dog, who's sharing the state, the zip code, the city of where everybody lives. Completely inappropriate, completely unnecessary, and malicious. I mean, just malicious.
Avalon, Hutch, Destiny's own personal chef. Like, this is what happened. This is what took place. Okay, and the pack actually did, unironically, raise a bunch of money off of like people who thought that they were giving money to a political action committee that was going to go around and do door knocking canvas operations, which they did.
Which they did.
They were being frauded because they thought they were paying for this. What they did do that.
Which they did.
But also what they did, let me completely invent something.
But also turned around and basically created this fucking like pay structure for a bunch of Destiny's friends.
Why the fuck would this giant pack?
And I didn't do it because I'm not one of Destiny's friends, so that's why I wouldn't want to do it. So it's so stupid because he completely defeats that point when he said that they hit him up too. If they reached out to him to get him involved, then clearly they're just trying to get other big creators. Especially because I think Hutch says that Destiny was involved as much as any one of the creators. It wasn't like it was set up for Destiny. He was just one of these different creators that was used in canvassing.
That could be some kind of Destiny puppet. It doesn't even make sense on its face. It's Alex Jones levels conspiracy theories here. Like what?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah. we're in Candace Owens territory for sure.
So Bad Empanada's doing his thing, doing slander, doxing, okay, defamation, all this good shit. Hasan lets it play, continue to play while he goes to the bathroom.
There's also the support Patreon Bad Empanada and Blue Sky and all the places to support him.
He trusts Bad Empanada so much. He's such an infallible, trustworthy voice. He's comfortable.
That's such a stupid thing to say too. If Hasan really said it as a co-op between him and his editor in Austin, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because that's not a co-op. That's just called a business partnership. That's called getting a percentage. Like, yeah, you buy, like in most co-ops you buy in, yeah, or you know, you whatever. You have to get you become a partner, but usually that's because it's like a larger scaled thing that other people can get involved in. But like there are all the people within the Hasan. I always forget what it's called. What does he call all of his different highlights channels? The Hasan Industrial Complex, the Hasanabi Industrial Complex, whatever. Like, shouldn't all of those people be included in some way? And all of them, you should have the option where all of them could buy in, you know, where they would then their profits would be put into this pool of profits, and all of you would split up a percentage, you know? Why not do that? That way, you know, you could benefit these smaller creators who are in turn trying to create stuff that'll benefit you. Come on, man. Didn't Hasan buy his editor a computer and then refuse to pay because he now owned his means of production? That sounds like some like deep-rooted joke, you know what I mean? Like someone would write that out in the comment section. He can excuse doxing and a past of loud bigotry, but as soon as he makes his already known opinions more known, Hasan just has to drop them. Yeah, I mean, it is just like flavor of the week, right? Hasan just likes to go with whatever is popular in the moment. And for the moment, Bad Empanada was popular, but he felt like he was getting a little too popular, so now it's try and X him out. Get him out of here.
Walking off and letting him take the audience by, you know, let him lead the conversation with zero oversight.
Zionist like propaganda really isn't that profitable to do anymore as an independent creator, because the appetite for it among the general
Hasan says he's walking off right now. He needs to pee, and he keeps playing.
Massive.
I have to say, I watched this Ludwig video, and Ludwig, it was a video about like smaller streamers and like if he could become a bigger streamer with no audience or whatever, and. First of all, he was using his own face on the stream, so it's like obviously if somebody sees that you're there, they're going to click it. They might even click it if they think it's an AI. But Ludwig went on. He, at one point, even when there was no audience, was about to leave a video playing, was about to play some random video. And I was like, bro, what is wrong with you guys? Stop trying to keep audience retention or whatever, like viewer retention up by leaving random videos playing that you're adding nothing to. It's so weird. It's so just because that's literally the whole point. Is the only point of doing that is in the hopes that people aren't going to click away. And that's scummy. That's just scummy.
Decrease, and it's only getting worse for them. So there's very little.
And it's funny because it's like he doesn't realize him doing that on his larger streams, like Ludwig doing that, is in turn, in some way, it's menial on some level, but preventing other like smaller streamers from getting those people that drop out because they don't want to wait and just sit here looking at nothing for a minute. Like that's also kind of an angle that is forgotten about. We got the old H3 logo back. What are you talking about? Oh.
organic financial incentive, as in like people coming to watch your videos willingly and donating to you, like out of the, just random people donating to you rather than big donors, like, because they like your content. So it doesn't really make sense. Most of the Zionist slop tubers have stagnated or like seen their audiences drop as they have supported Israel throughout the genocide. So it doesn't really make much sense. So the question is,
what does Lonerbox do? I haven't caught too many of his streams. I actually started watching Lonerbox on the Loner Unboxed channel. We do have the show up, but it's not, there's no title, no thumbnail. 40 minutes.
The incentive, right? Obviously, these people don't believe the shit that they spew in most cases. They're just doing it because they feel a need, like a primal need to defend Israel.
What does that
so
mean?
the question...
All right. Yeah, play clips of yourself for a friend's video. I mean, what my goal is I would like to make some content that works as like some bumpers. You create things that will work as a, like on Adult Swim when you have like bumpers playing between things. Have something that can go for maybe 30 seconds to a minute so you can do something quickly. You shouldn't be going for more than like 2-3 minutes at the maximum. But create your own content that's like something interesting that'll keep people involved. And then some people will be waiting for the moment when you do walk away so they can see what new bumpers you made, It's all interesting stuff. There's so many avenues, so many things that you could do. Hell, Hasan's rich enough where he doesn't even have to make his own content. He could literally pay people to make just little skits and stuff. He could pay a writer, a filmer, actors, and editors to make content to play in between, like when he's off camera, like literally. But Hasan honestly does it too much.
He's like, I can't logically explain this, so let me
do Burgerman and making Burgerman 2. I think that's a good idea. I'll make Burgerman 2, Burgerman Requiem. We'll come up with some things. I'll show one of my other ones soon. It's I made one that was, I made a few that were all right animations. They're not all right. They're really bad. But you know what I mean? I actually put effort into the animation. And then I made one called Tater Tot. That's literally just a still image with me doing some. It was the beginning of my voice acting career, I have to say. Hire me today. Do you need to hear Joe from Family Guy? Hey Peter. Hey Peter. See how good that was? Do I can't think of any more off the top. I could do ones that I can only think of the ones I've already done on stream before, like Mickey Mouse and Towley and Mr. Hanky, because they're all basically the same voice.
It's just primal. It's a natural. It's just this instinct that people have. They can't fight it.
I got into a back and forth with Taylor Lorenz.
A Lonerbox debate, Alex, would be amazing. Debate Lonerbox on you have to just study up on some like ancient battle. Like some like I don't even know. You have to study some like crazy old historical event and then debate him on that. That way you can just seem super knowledgeable and just dunk on him every time. Do an impression of you. Hey, what's up guys? It's Alex the Fiction. That was my best impression. What do you think? I think I did a pretty good job. If I could get Towley to read my textbook to me, I'd probably get a 100 on every quiz. See, I'll do it again because I thought it was so funny when I figured this out. Because I realized Towley and Mr. Hanky are basically the same voice. and then Mickey Mouse is just a more airy version of Mr. Hanky. Let's see if I can do it, and then we'll get back to the video. Sorry, we're sidelining for a second to do some voice acting. Got to do some voice acting drills every now and then, you know. Because Mr. Hanky's, he's more like this. He's kind of like you gotta have that anger in it. It's gotta be a little bit gravelly, but it's still the high pitched. So it's a little bit more gravelly. And then Towley is a little bit more, he's a little bit wider. It's a little bit slower. And he's always faded, but there's still a little bit of the throatiness to it. But then Mickey Mouse. Oh no, the Mickey Mouse doesn't sound too good right now. But the Mickey Mouse is a little more... See, it's also about the way that you talk. Because Mickey Mouse has a little bit of a jumpiness. And has like an airiness in his voice. That did not sound good. The Mickey Mouse one was terrible right now. The other two weren't that bad. I need water. My throat's too dry. I asked my ex to do an impression of me, and she fucking nailed it. Her impression of me was just to laugh really loud. Pretty good one. My roommate can definitely hear the stream through my headset. LMFAO. I feel bad for her. Sorry, roommate. L.
Actually, over the weekend, and she like kept on.
Sorry, roommate.
Questioning me. She was like, well, are you a Zionist? Like, she just kept on it. Like, it was really I think revealing of where she gets her information from.
I've seen Taylor Lorenz on TikTok. She cruises into random Jewish people's TikToks and leaves comments on their videos, small creators, and being like, just so you guys know, Zionism is Nazism. Have a nice day. And like, these are just Jewish people minding their own business, not talking about Israel, not talking about Zionism. And like, that's just racism.
I mean, speaking of her, I mean, she just yesterday clarified that nowhere in her reporting and nothing that she saw during the process of investigating this story indicated that the chorus creators were getting paid to do Israeli propaganda. That didn't stop really enormous left-wing voices like Hasan. I saw Crystal Ball sort of like make this argument in a roundabout way. Emma Vigeland was lending credence to the idea that these chorus creators were being paid for their silence on Israel. But that's in those spaces, that is really one of the worst things that you could accuse a creator of doing. And according to Taylor Lorenz herself, nothing that she said or reported on substantiated this claim at all. So they just made this claim up. And I cannot stress enough how
Taylor Lorenz is just being a little bit silly online. She's just having a little bit of fun. She's just a young woman and just experiencing life. Why are you guys hating?
How crazy it is that people that are well established on social media in the political space would throw out an accusation so disgusting with nothing to point to substantiate the claim at all. That's a big problem. To me, that is a really big problem. And there's been recent discourse about, what type of lefty should we distance ourselves from and what type of lefty should we welcome into the coalition. There's been a lot of that discourse in the last couple months. And
see, thinking like that just fuels division. It just fuels divisiveness. And it's like, well, that's why it truly is just about being as open as possible and telling people, hey, I don't agree with your ideas, but we agree on these things. Let's see why we feel so differently about these specific topics. Let's see what agreements we can come to. Let's see what points, let's see what concessions can be made. Like,
I think this issue has given us such a clear dividing line. So like if you were a creator that was accusing like Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman of getting paid to not talk about Israel, I think it's safe to say that we should just not associate with those people ever. They're never going to be a productive part of the coalition.
Yeah.
They're arsonists. They don't want to work with the Democratic Party. They want to destroy it and replace it with their own party. Every day that goes by where they haven't destroyed the Democratic Party, they just get angrier and angrier and angrier and more destructive. But and for what? Like, again, Brian Tyler Cohen did not get paid for this. He was out there for the love of the game, like actually just walking the walk and earnestly trying to.
God forbid a young woman has some fun maliciously misinforming people. Why is this such a problem? I don't get it. It truly is just... How does she have any credibility? I guess it's her... Honestly, I think nowadays, most people don't actually do background checks on people. They go, we're going to do a background check on you. And then the person just goes, okay. Okay, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. And they go, yeah, I'm not going to pay for this background check. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Elevate smaller creators in the space so that they can have a bigger platform.
Yeah, and Pac-Man too, who by all accounts is a completely good, regular, liberal guy who's, you know, trying to put good content out there. By the way, the two largest creators they accused in that article was Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman, right?
Correction, Ethan, you fool. It was the top 3 creators targeted who were Jewish. Aaron Parnas busted. Jewish confirmed.
Yeah, what do they have in common?
I'm really charitable.
I love this guy. This guy's TikToks are really good. Good stuff.
Busted. Jewish confirmed.
Yeah, what do they have in common?
Jews confirmed. Juice in chat. Juice in.
I'm really charitable about people.
Is that what they've been psyoping us this whole time? We've been getting brainwashed. That's what Hasan. That's what Love meant when he said we're juicing. We're juicing the views.
I think like I'm pretty optimistic about human beings, so I don't want to believe that people are motivated by like anti-Semitism and stuff. But it is telling that like they're focusing so much on those too.
They're both big, huge.
Oh, it is poll time.
Liberal. Thank you, Harley. They're Jewish creators. It could be just be a total fluke, you know, but it just keeps happening, you know.
It's worth noting.
It's worth noting. It's worth noting. We got our eye on you.
And the answer is yes, there is more to it. Because at the very least, we have a reasonable level of evidence now that some of the Zionist slot tubers who we've covered on this channel have been paid by Zionist organizations.
Now this is insane.
For quote-unquote advertising.
It's so crazy.
Hasan is not even here to editorialize it, although not that he even would. But this is just insane slander, defamation, completely invented narratives.
And the only reason that we know this is because of FEC filings where these sorts of payments have to be disclosed. It's likely that behind the scenes they're receiving even more money. So all of this is publicly available information from
So now Benetton is saying, you have to disclose this, but somehow this PAC is also doing something illegal and shady where they're paying you even more money. But yet they disclosed this. Makes no fucking sense. It's just full sale invented slander. And again, Bad Banana can get away with it because he's on the run in South America, running from country to country to avoid liability. These creators like Hasan got so comfortable to watching Bad Banana, they think they can do it too. They can't.
Well, he had distanced himself from BE at one point.
I'm sorry, I think I missed it.
But even would. But this is just insane slander, defamation, completely invented narratives.
And the only reason that we know this is because of FEC filings where these sorts of payments have to be disclosed. It's likely that behind the scenes they're receiving even more money. So all of this is publicly available information from
So now Benetton is saying, you have to disclose this, but somehow this PAC is also doing something illegal and shady where they're paying you even more money. But yet they disclosed this. Makes no fucking sense. It's just full sale invented slander. And again, Bad Banana can get away with it because he's on the run in South America, running from country to country to avoid liability. These creators like Hasan got so comfortable to watching Bad Banana, they think they can do it too. They can't.
Well, he had distanced himself from BE at one point, but then BE started attacking you.
Yeah.
So I think he became useful again.
You know, I'm sorry this is happening because it's horrible to get both doxxed and to be accused of taking money to defend Israel, which is really just a horrible lie.
It's not great. It's been very stressful at times, but and like the worst part again is I to be accused of something like that, it really does like shock you when it's not just one or two people in your mentions. It's like hundreds of people in your mentions.
Well, it can really harm your reputation as in your field too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, the Hasan not paying for the guy's PC was a meme. Hey. He better just start paying for everybody's PC. Spread that wealth, you greedy bitch.
Like these people, many of them, maybe most of them they're probably always going to be cut off to me internally because
if Hasan buys me a new PC, I will.
Why do people keep saying Superman Hasan Superhero W?
I will be in his chat saying Superman Hasan Superhero W if he buys me a new PC.
When they see an image of me or my name, they're going to think that I'm this thing that Hasan made up out of thin air. And he has just such a way bigger platform than I do.
So this is what defamation laws are for. Have you considered litigation at all?
No, I'm not trying to listen. That whole situation sounds like a big fucking headache that
It
I'd
is.
just as soon avoid. But
It's a
but, like,
giant
this,
headache.
I don't understand how like this type of thing would be allowed on like Twitch. Like to have like one of your largest political streamers using that platform to just egregiously smear somebody else for stuff that it reveals itself to be ludicrous as he's speaking. The fact that he was approached and all of his friends were many of his friends were associated with them. It just like doesn't make any sense.
Well, talking about what Twitch allows, I mean, even more blatant, which is blatantly against their terms of service, is the showing of your guys' personal information.
Yeah, even if it comes from a public source, if you post somebody's information like that without their consent, it's just a crystal clear violation of the TOS. But I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath to see if this guy catches any kind of disciplinary action. I reported the VOD, but I mean, I would be shocked if they did anything.
Right.
Yeah, he won't. He won't.
I was going to say, just as a quick aside, I've been kind of watching from the shadows for a little while now, and I remember watching you and Hasan, you had your podcast, and I thought that was a really interesting dynamic. I thought you guys had really good chemistry, all that. But as soon as you guys had that one argument about capitalism, and then that went on for like a week, that's when I knew. I was like, ooh, this is gonna implode in like
that
the next
was
year.
the beginning of the end.
So that was just fascinating to watch because I thought your fracture was so emblematic of just a much larger problem in like leftist online politics. They really will purity test you into oblivion, and then once they decide you're their enemy, those people are way more vicious than MAGA. I used to spar with MAGA for years. And that was bad. I had people, typing some really crazy messages to me. But that crowd, when they decide that you're on their enemy list, bro, they go so far above what MAGA does.
They will knowingly lie, but it's in their mind a righteous to do so because you're destroying your opponent. And so even and your opponent is so evil, it is such a huge obstacle to the greater good, that you can say anything about them to smear them. And, ironically, the same kind of type of shit you hear from Scientology. It's what they do to their detractors as well.
And Trump. Trump has the same playbook, right?
Well, Hutch, I appreciate you calling in. I'm sorry this is happening to you. And I'm sure that Hasan is going to be facing some very strict disciplinary action from Twitch for this one.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on and giving me an opportunity to like do some counter messaging. Because again, I have like a modest platform, right? But not nearly as big as Hasan's. And so I just feel like there's very limited opportunity for me to clear my name when these kind of smears get out there.
Yeah.
So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for inviting me on.
Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it as well. So that's Hutch, everybody. If you want to catch his political commentary, which I'm a fan of, I personally think you should be way more popular than you are. And I hope that does happen for you. People can go follow him on Hutch on YouTube. You're always at it, so you'll always find something there to watch.
Yeah, I go live on Sunday through Friday, starting at like 8:30 a.m. West Coast time and 11:30 a.m. East Coast, and we cover politics for like 4 to 6 hours. And
wow.
I'm just really trying to be a pragmatic voice. Like I think pragmatism is really important in this moment when we're confronted with Trump. And so that's really what I focus on. And yeah, thank you guys for having me.
All right, Hutch, everybody.
See, Hutch seems genuine, and I think that's like the main thing that Hasan lacks, and that's why it's like, I don't know, it's such a like. It's so easy to just be like, Hasan's dumb, Hasan's annoying, Hasan, like there's so many things to dislike Hasan about, but it truly is just like when you see people that are willing to, you know, put their best foot forward, I think it's just even more clear. But now we're going to watch, I clipped this myself. It's also 30 minutes. We probably won't be able to get through the whole thing, but it is, Hutch is live now. It was actually from earlier.
There's that are saying actually people
Let's see. Do we have a title yet? Anything? No.
don't care about God.
He's been live, like he was saying, 8 to 12 or 8 to 2 at sometimes, depending on what he's streaming. But earlier he had on this guy right here, Hutch clone. But no, he had a guy call in that wanted to talk to him, and I felt like there was some conversation to be had here, and I didn't know if he was going to clip it or not, so I wanted to talk about it before it's even out. Maybe I'm a pessimist, but I feel like the cut after they mention Trump is going to be commented on by snarkers. So true.
Is that Boy Soul?
I don't know.
I can't see the full name.
I mean, there's always going to be there's always going to be the people that are trying to act as detractors, you know. Oh, let me make sure this is on. Okay, good.
That's him? Okay. Patrick, are you there, Patrick?
Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing well, bub. Actually, maybe not so well. Did not like what I saw opening my phone this morning. I did not watch the H3 stream yesterday, but a little concerned to see kind of your transformation over the last
$2,500
12 months in this politics insider route. Your roundtable podcast with people who I feel are out of touch, and I know you have kind of a spectrum across what
Okay, bro, that was fucking disgusting. Clear your throat before you get on a call.
represents liberalism, modern liberalism in your kind of sphere. But on here, why am I seeing tweets? I'll read one example, you know. I think you had, I think this was November 2023, briefly after the Hamas attack. What is your stance? Is a genocide happening? I understand you pin them as terrorists. You know, negotiating with terrorists is something you can't really do. What's going on here? What is going on here?
Where are you getting the negotiating with terrorists isn't something? Where did you get that?
I think you just briefly spoke about it on your stream. I'm trying to understand why you have a tweet that says Israel is not trying to murder all Palestinians in Gaza. That's not the point. The death count is sobering and horrific, but intent.
Oh no, Lester, you fucked up your notes? Depending on what you're on, you should be able to find a history. Unless you mean it's paper notes and you like poured water all over it. Then maybe try and take a picture of it and copy and paste it into an electronic notes. Then you can print it up later.
It has to matter.
Before the ink smears too much.
What do you feel Israel is doing in Gaza right now?
Well, the blocking of aid, that's genocide, right? Like that's 100% genocide. That's like where I draw my line. And before that, it was an acknowledgement that war crimes are very likely taking place and that they're not respecting the principle of proportionality when it comes to international law. But I was uncomfortable using the word genocide for a variety of reasons. Now, I want to know how you went from that to like I'm this ultra Zionist. That like when you type that out, it makes me think like you're I think I could probably like guess your media diet, your media consumption based on that
What is my
statement.
media diet and consumption?
I assume that you watch like you watch people like Hasan. You
No,
follow people like.
I actually hate Hasan.
Whew. Okay, at least we're out of that.
Oh, okay. Wait? Hold on. What kind of lefty are you? Are you like a bad empanada lefty, or are you a Emma Vigeland lefty? What are we?
Why? See, that's the thing. Why are we putting like streamer archetypes into like what represents the spectrum of liberalism?
Because I
don't think any media talking head represents accurately what real.
Genuinely, this guy sounded super nihilistic and like black-pilled. So, he said that he likes Adam Friedland at some point, which I think kind of speaks to that a bit, because it's like everything's just a joke because everything's fucked. So why not just like kind of play the nihilist? I don't know. I find it kind of a pointless endeavor if that's your only kind of angle. That it's all pointless anyway. Why even come on to begin with, buddy?
Not even radical, but what real, true, non-center liberals feel. That's why I feel your content is very out of touch. I see you guys talk about 2028 primary.
He said he was between 25 and 30. I don't know if I believe him, but in this conversation, he says he's between 25 and 30.
There's gonna be a turnaround, Bro, you know, like most people feel like the world's ending and there's no real route forward.
No, I don't think
you understand that.
No, hold on. This is why I say I think you need therapy, because when you talk like that, you are massively projecting. Like this idea that most people think that the world.
Yeah.
This is
be a turnaround, not even radical, but what real, true, non-center liberals feel. That's why I feel your content is very out of touch. I see you guys talk about 2028 primary. There's gonna be a turnaround, Bro, you know, like most people feel like the world's ending and there's no real route forward.
No, I don't think
you understand.
Most people think the world's ending. That's what I mean when it's like there's people with nihilistic outlooks, but it truly is the vocal minority, because I think Hutch makes the point that most people are just doing their daily lives. They're just, they're, for the most part, eating shit. Most people are just going through what is a shitty existence, trying to make it work one day at a time. But most people don't see it all ending in like the next few months or something. Nobody, like, that is like a very much, I think there's probably more people that would say that they would think that they could make it out, like they would be the one to make it out of it, at least in America. That's kind of the I feel like that's what's ingrained in a lot of people, is that you'll be the sole survivor. So a lot of people would be fighting towards that regardless of what the perceived outcome might be. Anyways, bro's stuck in 2012. He's like, God damn it, that calendar. Someone must have like put all of their betting money on that, like fucking sold the house, did a bunch of drugs, and then the day hit and they went, fuck, what am I supposed to do now?
No, hold on. This is why I say I think you need therapy, because when you
and using, especially in America, like America is, like I'm saying, it's all subjective and personal perspectives. But specifically in America, I don't think most people are thinking that the world's going to end. That's probably true. I mean, nobody thinks the world's going to end. There's people that think that their lives are in imminent danger. And I think that they think that part of that is the impact of the cushy lives of individuals in, places like America. But, comme ci, comme ça, is that it? So in French?
When you talk like that, you are massively projecting. Like this idea that most people think that the world is ending, that is a massive projection. Most people are just like, doing their jobs and like going home and like
are struggling
hanging with their family, like that kind of thing.
That's not true, brother. I get maybe you have those luxuries.
No, it is. No.
You're looking.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am?
Pretty young. I would guess like 22, 23.
How old do I sound? How old do I sound? I'm an adult. I'm a grown-up. Can you guess my age based on my voice? See, I think that is kind of like it's hard because some people do sound like children when they're actually like in their 30s. So it is a hard it's a hard measurement to gauge, but I would say that his speaking patterns would resemble that of someone younger. Call me a speech analyst. I know what I'm talking about.
And I don't want to disclose my age, but younger than 30. Younger than 30. Older than 22.
I mean, younger than 30, that's still pretty young. I mean, yeah.
It is young. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But not 22, older than 25. So
it's pretty common for young.
Yeah, that's true. It's easier to yap than to become truly knowledgeable about civic and global issues and truly administrate the change from within the system. And that's what I mean, too, is a lot of people, when I was saying before that a lot of people, even when they have an end goal, they become nihilistic in the process because, like, if everything's going to be baby steps and be a slow burn to be able to get to any kind of meaningful change. And honestly, it needs to be that way to be able to implement the change properly so that there isn't as much pushback. But it's not as cushy and is like a, you know, it doesn't work when all you want to do is just, and this isn't to say protests are bad, but when people stop their advocacy at the protest, you know what I mean? There's levels to what we care about and how much we're willing to put in.
People to do stuff like massively project, and then you get older and you realize that there's just like a lot of different people in the world, and not everybody's thinking about the things that you're thinking about. Not everybody looks at the world the way that you do. You know, that's a normal part of growing up.
You're projecting that onto me as if those are my views. I understand that not all people see the world the same way that I do. Okay, that's very cut and dry. That makes sense.
Well, I mean, you could just clarify what you mean when you say most of the world think. Most people think that the world is ending. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You're absolutely right. When I say most of the world, that probably leaves out the vast swath of people that aren't involved in U.S. politics. But I mean, I even think that sentiment extends to Europe, just anywhere. But I mean, what is your path to de-radicalization then? What do you think are the talking points that makes these things even keeled for someone like me who has only progressively seen rights being taken away, a strong shift towards technocratic capitalism, seeing the left move towards the center and real liberalism die? What are your talking points to de-radicalize people that are more in tune to that?
I would point to just historical context.
I like that he said not more concerned with that, but more in tune with that. I'm just processing at a fucking higher level than you pleb. You plebeian, you fucking absolute your brain is half the size of mine. My brain is pushing against my skull. It actually kind of hurts.
So, you know, like, would you agree with the idea that we have come a long way and progressed in, and I don't even mean just in America, but we have progressed in so many substantive, positive ways since, you know, like 100 years ago. You know, would you rather live now would you rather live like now in the United States or 100 years ago in the United States?
Right. I think there's an idea, right? If you zoom out, if you go from 100 years, let's go 1900 to 2022 or 2025. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes, there's been a lot of progress, but I think even if you taper in,
putting it mildly,
if you shift that. Yeah. Right. But even if you just taper that 40, 50 years.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad take. We're so doomed. If this guy cares so much, he should get involved with the church and go on missions. You don't have to be a believer to help people, or maybe this is a bad take. I think that's not a bad take. I think that if you genuinely believe that the world is completely doomed, then doing something like that would probably be like the most immediate impact that you can have, you know? But if you're truly just in a nihilistic outlook, then I mean, you can't have a truly nihilistic outlook and still have a job and, you know, be working towards anything. Because that means you're not truly nihilistic. You know, you're working towards something. I mean, I guess you could be, but it's just like you're also you know, there's a lot that would go into it. Be like Hasan and be a narcissist and I'm sorry, I'm like actually just going like stupid from all of this, thinking about too many things because I have stuff I need to do later too. Give me a sec. Let me recenter. Let's hit some sound bites real quick. Okay, let's go through them.
We're just having some testicle difficulties.
That's the one I'm feeling right now.
We're just having some testicle difficulties.
Based?
There we go.
Chad is right. Chad is right. I'm disabled.
Where I got called a cuck online? Where I got called a cuck?
Trust me, what do you mean by B? What do you mean by nihilist? Hold on, bucko. Trust me, I watched the full debate between Alex O'Connor and Jordan Peterson. Or actually, sorry, it was Jordan Peterson and... Why am I forgetting his name right now? It was on Alex O'Connor's channel, but it was Jordan Peterson versus... Maybe that's why my brain's so fried. I've watched too much Jordan Peterson. Versus Dawkins, that was it. Jordan Peterson versus Richard Dawkins.
I think there are a number of questions which Professor Dawkins has asked quite directly that we still haven't really heard an answer to.
Okay.
When Professor Dawkins asking about the virgin birth, you started talking about metaphor, you started talking about myth. I think anybody listening to this conversation will understand that maybe a society that doesn't believe in the virgin birth won't work. Maybe that's the predictive power that you're talking about. But I think you must understand that when Professor Dawkins is asking you, do you believe that Jesus was born of a virgin? He means something like a biological fact. And by the way, saying I don't know, or saying, you know, I'm not qualified to comment, is an answer to that question. But is that your answer, that you don't know?
I said earlier, and I would hold to this, is that there are elements of the text that I don't know how to, that I'm incapable of fully accounting for. I can't account for what the fundamental reality and significance of the notion of the resurrection is. My knowledge just ends.
This is how I feel right now.
Sure, but
I know that whatever happened as
There's a disconnect in my brain and I'm trying to catch it.
consequence of the origination and the promotion of the Christian story was powerful enough to bring Rome to its knees and demolish the pagan enterprise. So there's some power in that story that's remarkable.
Let's stick to the virgin birth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the virgin birth results from a mistranslation of Isaiah.
Sorry, I watched a full hour, it might have been over an hour, of him doing that, and this is how I feel trying to speak on anything now. So let's continue. Why does he do that with his fingers? It's called being emotive. I speak with my hands. I know you're talking about Peterson, but I also speak with my hands. Bro's gonna start throwing up sets. He's gonna start set tripping. Did Jordan Peterson bang on us? Is that what just happened?
Do not argue that there have been substantial steps back post-civil rights movement to where we were before.
Yeah, I think the era of neoliberalism was a bit of a backslide. Like the fact that, you know, my boomer parents and their parents were spending.
Oh, we do have a thumbie. Oh, we do. Rudy Giuliani mangled in car accident. RF, another one? Oh wait, sorry, not Rudy Giuliani. I'm thinking of fucking whatever his name is. I'm thinking of Leno. But RFK gets grilled, and I Show Speed stream meltdowns. I Show Speed is going across America on stream. Interesting stuff. I think he got arrested or something. But Giuliani mangled in car accident. What happened? And why does this not actually look like any type of... This looks like a backpack. What is this? It's like a back brace, but this top strap does not look like it's put on properly. Am I wrong? Am I just looking at this improperly?
Like a much smaller percentage of their like income on their house, and the fact that so many people are like priced out of housing, that's a big problem in the United States. And so I'm certainly not suggesting that everything has gotten better, but when we compare the circumstances now to, I mean, the period that you keyed in on, you know, World War I, like the fact that we haven't experienced that level of war and destruction since World War I and World War II, that's kind of a big deal. You know, it's not that war went away. It's not that suffering went away. But you know, World War I, how many people died? 40 million people died, or something like. And when we look at like the civil rights movements that have sprung up since then, how far we've come on queer rights, labor rights, women's suffrage, the actual civil rights movement from the 60s. I mean, we've made a lot of progress. And like right now, we're doing a cultural and political pendulum swing to the right. There's no doubt about that. Like the second Trump era, people are saying slurs again, and it's, you know, there's all kinds of they're talking about taking guns away from trans.
Honestly, I saw something that was really funny where I don't remember the context at all. This is going to be such a weird like way of me explaining this because I do not remember what the context of the conversation was at all. I saw there was a post about some type of thread on Twitter where somebody was being bigoted. Like somebody was being bigoted on Twitter. And in the comments, someone went, "Can you link me this thread? I'm going to go call this person a slur." And I was just like, it's so crazy. The leftists are using slurs again too, because it's just like the ammunition. You need heavier ammunition at some point. Things are going to shit.
People, it's not tight. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. It's pretty not tight right now. However, like,
you go ahead. Sorry.
I'll just finish up. I mean, like, even with the current, you know, 2 steps back moment that we're in right now, we have still progressed so much further than 100 years ago.
And I understand, but I would argue there are even more insidious things going on. You have BlackRock owning the most homes in America.
I don't know.
Wait, did he get that right the first time? Wait. Blackstone Group. Isn't BlackRock the coffee place? I know there's actually some crossover. Look up the history. Yeah, BlackRock is the coffee. He actually got it right the first time and corrected himself to get it wrong.
But I would argue there are even more insidious things going on. You have BlackRock owning the most homes in America.
I don't know if that's true. Hang on a second.
It is true. Yeah.
What percentage? No. I think you're wrong about that. Hold on. What percentage of homes in a?
If it's not the most. It's a ridiculous amount. Raising rent. Like, there are more insidious things going on. What is the role that why is our government bought by special interest groups? That is
Blackstone owns 0.06% of the 106 million single family homes in the U.S.
Right. Let's see here, Hutch. Let me use my Google as well.
I only know BlackRock coffee from delivering DoorDashes.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I use Bing, so.
Okay. And here's the thing, I understand. Yes, I may be wrong that they own the most homes. Are you willing to say that this is not a problem? That investment groups, that developing companies, this is a
Mott and Bailey. I'm sorry. I'm being obnoxious.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry. No, I just told you like the cost of living is a problem. I already told you that.
Yeah.
I agree. The cost of living is a big problem, and we need to incentivize more development so we can get more inventory so we can drive these prices down. That's true.
But that's not happening.
It's happening in California. It's happening.
Right.
No, it's happening in California. We just passed a massive YIMBY bill in California that will result in a lot more real estate inventory.
Okay, we will see. I will check back in 4 years on.
I mean, how do you feel about the fact that like literally like 90% of people that were globally that were living in extreme poverty, that's been reduced by 90% over the last 100 years? Isn't that kind of crazy?
That is, yes, this is a good thing, but I don't think that you can just say that this progress means that that nothing bad is going to continue happening.
I didn't say. Well, hang on. I didn't say that. Stop. Hang on. I didn't.
You're using this justification of our progress in the past as a way to lessen critique of the momentum.
No. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not like as long as it's legitimate critique, it's fine. But my issue with you guys, and I call you guys black pill lefties, is because you have, through your media consumption, you have cultivated a perspective of the world that, I assume you might think that we live in the worst country that has ever existed on the face of the planet. America,
No.
America is like this really evil.
Living is a problem, bruh. F my derpy chud life. Bro, life only sucks because I only hate my life because my ex-wife makes me pay child support. You think that's my fault? Somehow that's my fault.
Country that everything is getting worse. It's all rigged. The system's totally rigged, so there's nothing we can even do to try to change it. Like, it's a very bleak, nihilistic kind of outlook. And I think it's really common when you're younger, but I would just encourage you to expand your perspective to include more historical context, because yes, we have backslid on a few issues. That's certainly happening right now. We're in a bit of a critical moment right now in the United States where it could get really, 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 really bad, like so much worse than it is right now. But none of that nullifies or negates the myriad ways that human beings have progressed in really substantive, material ways in the last century. We've moved in a really good direction in a lot of different areas.
And that's a very good opinion. So to bring it all back, why the fuck are you interviewing H3? What is this?
Well, technically he's interviewing me. What
is this? Lies.
What's your issue? What's your issue with him?
What is this? Jew? Question mark?
Do you not think that in terms of his point of views, everything what's shaken down in like the last 2 years, you don't think that that's detrimental to your larger audience, to what he believes?
No, I don't. No. Oh, in fact, I actually, would you actually just tell me who you watch? I just want to know.
Yeah, content-wise, actually the last kind of 2 years, you talking about like political content?
Yeah, come on, be honest with me. Who do you follow on Twitter? Who do you trust? Like, who are you
being so serious? I really have tried to get away from all political topics.
Come on, tell me the truth. Come on, tell me
this. So serious because it poisons the well. It's so.
There's no way we're going to get both done at the same time, or at least in the span of 5 years. What he's asking for is impossible based on the pattern of progression. We're splitting focus here. See, I don't think that he has much focus. That's why it immediately jumped back to being like, why are you doing an interview with H3, bro? He's a Zionist. He thinks progress is a linear and exponential process. I mean, I think that's the problem with most like internet lefties, right? Is you think that everything's supposed to be immediate. And doesn't that show the problem with the cushy life of the West? The cushy West needs to be dismantled now.
Bad to watch. Even someone like yourself, who I think like projects more of an even keel database, bro.
Who did you watch?
I started watching your streams.
Sorry, I said it once, I'll say it again.
Chad is right. Chad is right. I'm disabled.
Who did you watch? Who did you watch?
Oh, I guess at the height of 2020, bro.
Come on, just say it.
Dude,
it's okay. You can say it. It's okay.
Honestly, nobody.
It's okay. You can tell the truth. Come on.
No, bro. My roommate in 2019 was a fucking Republican, so I tried not to watch his fucking TV because I went to school in a red state. So it's like, bro, I don't think it's really insane to say that I don't spend hours of my day watching political commentary.
All right, if you don't want to tell me, it's fine. I think that people are really profoundly influenced by the people that they go to for news. And
That's totally fair.
And I can just
watch anyone.
Okay, but I feel like I make a pretty good guess of like some of the cast of characters that you. Again, people like Hasan Piker, people like Emma Vigland, maybe Vosh, maybe Bad Empanada, maybe Mike from PA, maybe Sean DeBlack and Frogan, like the maybe Kyle Kalinske, right? Maybe Crystal Ball,
I think you can actually pull up my Twitch account and you can maybe find messages of me talking shit to Hasan back whenever he was fucking blowing up. Bro, I was very anti.
What's your issue with Hasan?
Great show today, Captain. Don't lie to me, Martin. I do appreciate everybody that stopped. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like if you're enjoying all of these funny little sound bites.
Chad is right. Chad is right. I'm disabled.
Am I right?
I just don't like Hasan, bro.
Why? Hold on.
I think it's just I feel his content is a little more on the performative side. I generally don't like streamers with large audiences. I feel like it takes away of the credibility and how genuine they can be. I don't think that these are like.
You should love me then. We have a modest size stream.
Bro, when you first came back to streaming, I was so hype, and then I saw you started posting political content like. It's like, bro, really?
Listen, to be honest with you, I've cared about politics more than video games the whole time. Like I wasn't really, I wasn't really happy doing video games for many years. And here, hold on. Let me try to, like, so with respect to Ethan, here's what I think happened. Okay, I think that October 7th was a really radicalizing event for a lot of young.
No, yeah, it is giving fallen fan of something. Can't really tell what exactly, but he's a fallen fan of something for sure.
Left-leaning people. And that makes sense. It was what happened after October 7th, what Palestinians have been forced to endure. Like, they need people advocating for them. And anybody with a conscience and a heart would look at what they're experiencing right now and feel like a sense of horror for what we're witnessing, okay? All that is valid, but I think that what's been happening in Israel has been really radicalizing in the worst possible ways. And I think the Ethan situation is like a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because this initial like fracture between Ethan's audience and Hasan's audience, all of that started because all Ethan wanted Hasan to do was to like moderate his community, who were accusing Ethan and his wife of being like baby killers and accusing them of supporting genocide, which none of that was based in reality. None of that.
So them supporting like Israel's actions, that's not based in reality?
What actions did they support specifically? What are you talking about?
You're talking about like Ethan and Gila's continuous stance that Israel's doing nothing wrong?
Okay. This is my issue, okay? Because that's not true.
That they're justified in what they're doing.
No.
I think
wait. What you're saying is just simply not true. Like this idea that they've been throwing full-throated support at Israel this whole time is just not true.
I didn't say full-throated support.
What support did they even? What even just regular?
Hey, bro, I didn't fucking say full-throated, dog. That sounds sus. Don't say I said that shit. It's almost like the Tony had.
Like this idea that they've been throwing full-throated support at Israel this whole time is just not true.
I didn't say full-throated support.
What support did they even just regular support did they throw to Israel? The whole time they've been saying that Netanyahu is like a war criminal. They've been saying that what Israel has been doing in Gaza has been completely unjustified. They've been talking about how Gaza deserves, like Palestinians deserve their own state. They deserve to be free.
I think that's false.
It's not. I promise you. I promise you. This is why, and you don't want to tell me who you watch for media. That's fine. You say it's nobody. Okay. But I really want you to deep dive into what Ethan and Hila have actually said about this conflict, because they are not broadly Israel supporters. They're just not. These people should have been your ally, and you guys you chased them out.
I do not think that's true at all, because they've said some very disgusting racist things over the last 2 years about specifically Palestinians.
Can I get an example?
Just hit it every time he's talking.
Community. Please, bro. Would you like me to come back in like 30 minutes and collect my fucking Twitch clips? I'm so confused.
I've seen all the same clips that you have. So
okay, then how are we arriving at different opinions? Because you sound like an apologist in this scenario.
I don't know what you think I'm apologizing for. Or what do you mean?
Defending their very staunch pro-Israel.
This is hold on. This is what they've said.
You're telling me that H3 is not pro-Israel.
You understand that H3 called it a genocide like within a couple months? Do you understand that? Do you understand that do you understand? I mean, that's like way.
I just like that. Maybe this guy is trolling. I really don't think that he is, just based on like a few of the things that he said. But that part right there, where he doesn't really give any examples, just goes, "You're gonna tell me that H3 isn't pro-Israel, bro? You're really gonna tell me that?" It's like, well, you're not really making any claims. You're just expecting me to agree with you, which is not the way this is gonna work.
Faster than I ever used that word. Do you understand that like H3 has talked about how Palestinians deserve to be free from occupation? They deserve to have their own state, and they deserve
I've
to.
also seen them say and I know that this is not false. They have also said things that contradict those statements that you just said as well.
I really doubt that that's true. I'm very up to date on all. I'm so online. I'm so up to date on all that lore.
I don't think it'll take me long to find some clips. I really don't.
That they've
like I'm sitting at my computer. I'm on Discord with you, but I don't think it would take me long to find clips at all.
How do you make sense? Like, listen to me. How do you make sense out of the idea that Ethan was calling this thing a genocide and that he wants Palestinians to be free from occupation? Like, how do you square that with him being like super pro-Israel?
I think as long as he self-identifies as a Zionist, which he does, then that's all.
I don't think I've never heard him call himself a Zionist, by the way.
I literally have seen him call himself a Zionist. Why are people?
No, that's not true.
You've seen this dude cry over this bullshit.
I have never.
Wait, he said, "Why are people?" He said, "Oh my God, did you catch it? He's a Zionist. He said he's a Zionist. Why would people be attacking him for being a Zionist?" It's just right there. There's nothing you're going off of other than what other people are saying about him. Like, come on, man.
I don't think I've never heard him call himself a Zionist, by the way.
I literally have seen him call himself a Zionist.
What Ethan has specifically said, I'm pretty sure, is that he would be considered a Zionist, as would half of all Jews in the modern like parlance of what the word means. If you want to go back to what like the original like if you want to talk about what the government's doing or specific like Zionist like ideology in current places, there's like things that you could talk about there. But like, come on. It's just not the same. Just trying to conflate it all is going to be a problem always.
People
no, that's not true.
You've seen this dude cry over this bullshit.
I've never seen him call himself a Zionist.
That's so okay. So
what do you think a Zionist is? What's your definition of a Zionist?
I think I like Adam Friedland. Bro, you asked me to watch. I watch Come Town. Fucking Adam Friedland. Yeah. That's.
You watch Come Town, bro? That show's been over for like years now. I'm watching Come Town, bro. I'm still catching up.
Political, right?
Okay, all right.
That's someone who I really liked.
We're getting to it.
Adam Friedland's definition of Zionism, that Israel is not Zionism exists to give Israelis a safe place to live, and by definition, Israel is not a safe place to live. So Zionists should not be.
That's not really a definition. That's not really a definition.
That a Zionist is someone who believes.
Well, I mean, it's a definition. It's just not a very good definition.
This a state for Israelis should exist.
Say for Jewish people. Stay for Jewish people. Is that what he said?
Right.
Is that what he said?
Right. Jewish people.
How do you feel about the fact that the? How do you feel about the fact that the Comtown? How do you feel about the fact that the like Adam Friedland literally just like laughed at the Ukrainian war and said, "Not my problem."
I think the Ukrainian war is bullshit. I don't know why we're sending money. Like, I really don't.
Okay, you're telling me that you're a pro-Palestinian advocate because you don't.
Okay, I'm gonna say it here. I saw Adam Friedland sucking his own dick behind the 7-Eleven. Come for me. That's what he was saying with it. I couldn't really make it out, but sue me. I'm just saying. I'm just making a making a claim.
Don't like the amount of suffering.
We were trying to.
Hold on. Let me ask a question.
Has every
Let me ask a question, okay?
This dude has got to be a teenager. I don't believe he's 20. No way. Your brain is mostly developed, and you have the confidence, and you have to. Oh, he's a Russian apologist. Hey.
Like you take it because.
I think the Ukrainian war is bullshit. I don't know why we're sending money. Like, I really don't.
Okay, you're telling me that you're a pro-Palestinian advocate because you don't like the amount of suffering.
We were trying to.
Hold on. Let me ask a question.
Has every.
Let me ask a question, okay? Like you tell me that you don't you watch what's happening in Gaza right now, and you
Are you equating that Russia and Ukraine's relationship is mirrors that of Israel and Gaza's?
Oh,
You know that
yeah. This was the part that I listened to most of this beginning bit. This last 10 minutes is where I was not paying attention. Yeah. Oh my god. This is where I think he has to be like a fallen Hasan fan. I know he's like, I fucking hate Hasan, bro. I can't give you a reason why. I just hate him. Maybe he's still a Hasan fan, and that's why he's saying it like that. But it is a... Come on, man.
More people have died in the Ukrainian war than in Gaza?
Yeah, and what do the casualties look like on both sides? What is the share?
Well, the State Department under Biden estimated 130,000 Ukrainian casualties, but that was like a year and a half ago. So I don't even know. I have no idea what that number.
How many Russian casualties?
That much more, hundreds of thousands, like multiple hundreds of thousands. But if we just want to focus on Ukraine, who are being
does that
Russia's getting walked by some farmers, dog. I know that's not like what it actually is, but I just always like that image when people say stuff like that. Their military got walked by some farmers, bro.
Who are being invaded.
That's happening and the fact that we're calling Israel-Gaza a war, it's not a war. But does that mirror the dynamic that's happening in
No, it doesn't.
Gaza?
No, I'm not saying it's a perfect reflection, but I'm saying if you are over here talking about Israel-Palestine, which I think you should be, but you have no real opinion about what Ukrainians are being forced to suffer through right now.
Opinion.
No, you just said it was bullshit. I don't even know what that means. How is it bullshit? They're being invaded.
Right. My opinion is that
at 13 I was down the alt-right pipeline and then LT Lieutenant Corbus coded. I completely forgot about Lieutenant Corbus until I was doing that Sam Hyde thing. The internet has always been such a weird place, right? Really had
today is September 5th.
About to have multiple going. Really had an edgy kid on the internet, an edgy little girl. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with other streams in between. But yeah, you know what it is. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. Go check it out. The podcast is starting now. Let's see if he's sick and gonna die, like always. Yup. Yuppers. This is Captain Quasar signing off.